Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Notification Podcast, your go to source for this week's new book releases. Today, we're looking at the week from May 19th to the 25th. There are over 360 new books releasing this week, so there is no way we could cover them all. Visit booknotification.com to explore the full list of this week's new books. You can also follow your favorite authors so you'll be the first to know when their next book is available. As always, we have 10 books to highlight with a little something for everybody. Let's get into it. Number 1, New York Times bestselling author Dean Koontz returns with Going Home in the Dark. As kids, outcasts Rebecca, Bobby, Spencer, and Ernie were inseparable friends in the idyllic town of Maple Grove. 3 left to pursue lofty dreams and achieve them. Only Ernie never left. When he falls into a coma, his 3 amigos feel an urgent need to return home. Don't they remember people lapsing into comas back then? And those people always awoke, didn't they? After 2 decades, not a lot has changed in Maple Grove, especially Ernie's obnoxious, scary mother. But Rebecca, Bobby, and Spencer begin to remember a hulking, murderous figure and weirdness piled on mystery that they were made to forget. As Ernie sinks deeper into darkness, something strange awaits any friend who tries to save him. For Rebecca, Bobby, and Spencer, time is running out to remember the terrors of the past in a perfect town where nothing is what it seems. For Maple Grove, it's a chance to have the 4 amigos, as they once called themselves, back in its grasp. Going Home in the Dark will release on May 20th. From Glynn Stewart comes his latest space opera, Seekers in the Void. Captain Cyrilla Webster is a loyal officer of the Santiago Corporation, the multistellar megacorporation that controls all travel between the 77 human colonies. Finally given command of his first interstellar freighter, he is determined to do well by both his crew and his employers. But nothing is ever that simple. His crew is used to captains passing through on their way to better ships. The company's policies have made more enemies than he can count. Their mission is unusual, and the client might be lying to him. And if all of that wasn't enough, one of the cyborgs his ship uses for security is starting to do things like read encyclopedias for fun. Seekers in the Void will be released on May 22nd. From international best-selling author Glenn Cooper comes The Last Conclave, a gripping Vatican mystery of power, secrecy, and betrayal. A vanished conclave, an empty Sistine chapel, and a secret buried for 8 centuries. When Pope John XXIV is found dead in his bed just 2 years after his election, the world braces for a new conclave. But as the cardinal electors are sealed inside the Sistine Chapel, something unthinkable happens. Hours pass, no smoke rises, no vote is announced. And when Vatican Secretary of State Elisabetta Celestino breaks protocol to open the doors, she finds the chapel empty. The cardinals have vanished without a trace. CNN religious expert Cal Donovan is on site to cover the conclave, but soon finds himself swept into a global investigation. As panic spreads and theories abound, Cal uncovers a chilling trail leading back to a centuries-old order, one that has waited in the shadows to cleanse the sins of the church with blood. Ancient secrets, ruthless power, and a final reckoning that will shake the foundations of faith. The Last Conclave begins on May 19th. From Olivia Hayle comes The Faking Game, a new contemporary romance. West Calloway is rich, arrogant, and her brother's best friend. Now, they're faking a relationship in public, while he gives dating lessons in private. When a stalker forces her out of her apartment, her brother insists she stay somewhere safe, at his best friend's legendary estate. With the tall, handsome, frustrating man she once had a silly crush on, a man who never liked her. But then West suggests they fake date to send a message. She's taken and well protected. She agrees on one condition: he helps her practice real dating. She doesn't know how to date, and West doesn't do love. It's perfect. Soon, they're practicing it all in secret: dates, kissing, sleeping in the same bed. The only rule: her brother can never find out. West learns what she likes, buys her gifts, praises her, and helps her stop people pleasing. Maybe she'll even ask him to help with her innocence, too. But the way he's looking at her now, it's not part of any lesson. And when he touches her, it feels like he's forgotten this is just practice. The Faking Game will be released on May 25th. From New York Times best-selling author of Two Nights in Lisbon comes The Doorman by Chris Pavone, a pulse-pounding novel of class, privilege, sex, and murder. Chiqui Diaz is everyone's favorite doorman at the Bohemia, the most famous apartment house in the world, home of celebrities, financiers, and New York's cultural elite. Up in the penthouse, Emily Longworth has the perfect looking everything, all except her husband, whom she quietly loathed even before the recent revelations about where all the money comes from. But his wealth is immense, their prenup is ironclad, and Emily can't bring herself to leave him. Yet. And downstairs in 2A, Julian Sonnenberg, who has carved himself a successful niche in the art world and led a good half-century of a full and satisfying cosmopolitan life, has just received a devastating phone call that does nothing at all to alleviate his sense that, probably for better or worse, he has aged out and he's just not that useful to anyone anymore. Meanwhile, gathered in the Bohemia's bowels, the building's almost entirely black and Hispanic working-class staff is taking in the news that just a few miles uptown, a black man has been killed by the police, leading to a demonstration, a counter-demonstration, and a long night of violence across the Tinderbox City. As Chicky changes into his uniform for tonight's shift, he finds himself breaking a cardinal rule of the job. Tonight, he'll be carrying a gun, bought only hours earlier, but before he knew of the pandemonium taking over the city. Chicky knows that there's more going on in his patch of sidewalk in front of the Bohemia than anyone's aware of. Tonight, in the city, enemies will clash, loyalties will be tested, secrets will be revealed, and lives will be lost. Chris Pavone's The Doorman will be released on May 20th. USA Today best-selling author Arietta Richmond brings a new Regency romance, The Duke's Duet. When the Duke of Brightwood arranges a series of charity concerts, the last thing he expects, or wants, is to end up on the stage himself. But that is exactly what happens. Even worse, he must perform as an accompanist to a fiery singer, a lady who is as attractive and intriguing as she is irritating. Miss Melody Piper, a music master's daughter, should be beneath his notice. For a duke can never consider a woman like that for anything except a passing liaison. Melody knows that. Still, against her best intentions, she finds the attraction between them growing. But as their musical compatibility is proven, they are each faced with the most difficult choices of their lives. What they do now could ruin them both and bring scandal of the worst kind. Will duty rule them, or will they reach out for their heart's desires despite the risks? The Duke's Duet will be released on May 24th. From Keri Beevis comes The House Sitter, a chilling, addictive psychological thriller. She knows what she saw, but can she prove it? After a painful breakup, a woman agrees to house sit her brother Dexter's posh apartment while he's out of the country. It's the perfect opportunity to give her some much needed headspace. One sweltering summer evening, during a power outage, she sits on the balcony and unexpectedly gains a secret window into the lives of the residents in the building opposite. What she sees goes far beyond casual observation. She's drawn to a man in the penthouse and watches him closely. And when a striking woman joins him on the balcony, she can't help to tear her eyes away. The following weekend, a woman matching her exact description is reported missing. She's not been seen since that fateful night. When she goes to the police, the man in the penthouse has a cast iron alibi and denies that she was ever there. But the woman knows what she saw, and she can't let it go. The deeper she digs, the more dangerous things become. Now someone is watching her too. Just how much can she trust her neighbors? The House Sitter will be released on May 22nd. From Kelli Robyns comes Spellbound, the first book in the Charmed City series. Her magic awakens. Her normal life just burst into flames. Lila Matthews is just a barista trying to make rent in Manhattan, balancing coffee orders and dreaming of owning her own cafe one day. When mysterious green sparks erupt from her fingertips during her shift, her ordinary world shatters. Something magical has awakened inside her, something wild and unpredictable that she can't control. Enter Caleb Blackwood, a stern warlock from the secretive Council of Magical Guardians. He claims Lila's newfound powers make her a witch with a dangerous legacy, one that needs training before she hurts herself or exposes their hidden world. Now Lila must navigate council politics, master her unstable abilities, and unravel the truth about her heritage. The situation grows more dire when a rogue warlock named Sebastian steals the powerful Nexus Prism, threatening to tear open the veil between worlds with illusions that can warp reality itself. With Manhattan becoming a battleground of swirling magic, Lila's connection with Caleb deepens beyond mentor and student. Together they race to find an ancient amulet that might stop Sebastian's devastating plans. Will Lila embrace her magical destiny and save the city she loves? Or will Sebastian's illusions consume everything, including the forbidden feelings she's developing for Caleb? Spellbound will be released on May 21st. USA Today best-selling author Sylvia McDaniel has a new contemporary romance, Inheriting an Irish Groom. He's grumpy, gorgeous, and deeply annoyed by her. Perfect. When Aisling O'Byrne catches her fiancé in bed with her boss, she doesn't just walk away. She scorches the earth. She ditches Manhattan for a surprise inheritance in Ireland. Population nosy, judgy, and way too interested in her business. To claim her grandmother's crumbling estate, Aisling must live there for 6 months. Her plan? Renovate, sell, and flee. Easy, until she runs into Ronan Gallagher, her childhood fiancé, turned brooding literary snob. He hates her goat. She hates his rose bushes. And thanks to an ancient family feud, he's practically required to hate her. But between goat-related crimes, long-buried secrets, and sparks she didn't expect, Aisling starts to wonder if she was meant to run away or finally come home. Welcome to Mount Shannon. She's not leaving anytime soon. Finally, one of this week's biggest releases, Nightshade, by New York Times bestselling author Michael Connelly. Introducing Detective Stillwell, a cop relentlessly following his mission in the seemingly idyllic setting of Catalina Island. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective Stillwell has been exiled to a low-key post policing rustic Catalina Island. after department politics drove him off homicide desk on the mainland. But while following up the usual drunken disorderlies and petty thefts that come with his new territory, Detective Stillwell gets a report of a body found weighed down at the bottom of the harbor. A Jane Doe, identifiable at first only by a streak of purple dye in her hair. At the same time, a report of poaching on a protected reserve turns into a case fraught with violence and danger as Stillwell digs into the shady past of an island bigwig. Crossing all lines of protocol and jurisdiction, Stillwell doggedly works both cases. Though hampered by an old beef with an ex-colleague determined to thwart him at every turn, he is convinced he is the only one who can bring justice to the woman known as Nightshade. Soon, his investigation uncovers closely guarded secrets and a dark heart to the serene island that was meant to be his escape from the evils of the big city. Propulsive and atmospheric, Nightshade launches a brand new character into the Connelly universe. Nightshade will be released on May 20th. That's our 10 books for this week. Until next time, you can check out booknotification.com. Book Notification offers an easy way to track your reading lists, follow your favorite authors, and never miss a new release. Our website is completely free to use, and it's packed with features to make your reading life easier. You can follow your favorite authors and get notified whenever they release new books. We send out an email every Tuesday with a list of fresh releases from the authors you love, but that's not all. You can track your reading progress, mark books as read, rate and review them, and even import your data from Goodreads, Calibre, Libby, and more. Want to discover something new? Check out Reader's Roulette for book recommendations, or use our personalized book release calendar to stay up to date with the latest titles. You can even tag books with custom labels, just like on Goodreads shelves, and get tailored recommendations for what to read next based on your current book. Whether you're looking for books in publication or want to see them listed in chronological order, we've got it covered. Plus, all of our authors are audited by real people, so you know the information is accurate. So why not give it a try and join the thousands of readers already using our site to stay on top of their reading game. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week with another 10 books.